Welcome to Wilameana's World podcast, where culture, music, hot topics, business, and beyond collide. I'm your host, Wilameana Jones, inviting you to join me on this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop with our latest episode releases. Yes. Well, welcome back to another episode of Wilameana's World, and I'm your host, Wilameana Jones, live on the check-in. So we have a very special guest, and I'm so excited to talk to you. Please introduce yourself to the people that don't know you.
Okay, my name is TJ Chapman, the CEO of the world-famous TJ's DJs, manager for B.O.B., Trap Beckham, and I have a new artist, So Candid. And also, we down here in Miami, I gotta let y'all know, check out my new food truck. I got a vegan food truck down here called Plant Menage.
Okay, yes. I like how you just jumped in and put that shameless plug. You didn't waste no time. Definitely. So, what is your title out here from? Did you start off actually as a DJ? I know you from TJ's DJs. So what would you say your title? Are you a music industry executive, manager? What is your title?
I'm an executive. Yeah, I would say that. I'm a manager. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a star maker. A lot of cool things. We got a lot of titles.
Absolutely.
Some call me Mr. Happy.
Why, you always happy?
Well, I am always happy, but they call me Mr. Happy because I would always bring joy to all occasions.
Oh, I did not know you was a joyer. That's good to
that's
know.
me.
Yes, bring the joy. For sure. So how did you actually get your start in the music industry?
Well, I started DJing in 1984, not to tell my age. I was in Ohio then. I was in 8th grade. And then I graduated from high school up there, had a scholarship to FAMU in Tallahassee. So I moved down there. In my sophomore year, I brought my DJ equipment, so I started DJing. And I was DJing stuff on campus, the big campus parties, the fraternity parties, and I was DJing house parties. And I was discovered by a dude named Beatmaster Clay D, famous, little Miami bass legend. And he was opening a new club, and he wanted me to come DJ at his club, called Club Hollywood in Tallahassee. So I started DJing there, then he started taking me on the road with him. I was his road DJ. Then I became his road manager. Then I became his manager. And that was like 92. Then I took on Prince Raheem, had him signed to Island Records, first Miami bass artist to get a major record deal. Okay. Started managing a kid from down here named Crazy Legs. Had another kid, Dynamite, just a lot of stuff. And it's just been natural progression over the years. So I've been doing this shit for decades.
That's what's up. The craziest thing is I really thought the first artist that you broke was T-Pain. I know that a lot of people, from TJ's DJs, they know you from finding T-Pain from Tallahassee. But I had no idea that you had that start from that early and that you were DJ and everything. So it makes a lot of sense now, to me. I didn't really realize that's how you got your start.
I mean, it's really natural progression, maturing in the business.
Okay, so the legendary TJ's DJs, that's actually when I met you in Tallahassee. It was an event for DJs networking. That's really where I learned how to network. So how did that whole situation come together?
On some real shit, I ain't never want to do this shit.
For real?
I'm just gonna keep it real. I was part of a coalition, a record pool coalition, and they were like, "Hey TJ, you need to have these record pool meetings," and I just kept saying, "Yeah, okay, yep." And they got tired of telling me, and so they finally gave me an ultimatum, like, "Look, if you don't do this, we're gonna kick you out the coalition."
Wow. Why was it you though? Why they chose you?
Everybody had to do them if you was in the coalition.
Okay.
So I started mine at the Moon in Tallahassee, in the Silver Moon, the side Silver Moon Lounge. The first one we did, I didn't want to do it, but I did it. We had 25 people come out. And it was pretty cool. You know, it was like, okay, we played music, people came and networked, and, you know, it's like, okay, you know what, I like this. So we did it again. Next time we had 50 people. Did it again. Next time we had 100. And it kept growing. It kept growing until one day my man DJ Ace at the Moon, who managed the Moon, came to me and was just like, hey, TJ, hey, man, sorry, bro, but we can't let you do this in the Silver Moon Lounge anymore. And I'm like, damn, man, this shit going good. Like, why can't I do it in the Silver Moon Lounge? He's like, hey, bro, it's time to move you to the big room. I'm like, hell no. Fuck the big room, that shit too big. Nah, bro, I don't want to do that. He's like, hey, listen, next time you have to. So, you know, just get ready for it. I'm like, fuck. And so the next one came, and we in this goddamn big ass Moon. I'm like, man, I don't know why here. I knew we shouldn't have done this shit. You know, it was light and shit. And then all of a sudden, boom, the whole thing just filled up. And I was just like, oh my fucking God. This shit is crazy. And we just kept doing it. It just became a thing that everybody came to the network. You know, if you was in the South, that's where you came to get your music heard. That's where you came to meet the DJs. That's where you came to politic with the media. And everybody just came. And the craziest thing about all of it is I built it off my brand. I never advertised one time. I never said who was coming. It was about me. I never paid anybody to come. I never bought hotel rooms for anybody. It was just something that everybody had to come to, and the word of mouth just really kept spreading. And then my friend Julia Beverly, she started coming, and so she was covering everything, so it all being Ozone, and that was a magazine that everybody looked at in the South. And so it was just like everybody it was the biggest shit in the South. And so if you did music, you had to come, you had to be there. I never expected it to be what it was. I mean, to be honest, I was just trying to pay the bills.
So it started from 25 people and then grew into thousands of people coming in.
I mean, but then it grew from that into the Ozone Awards. And so I started the Ozone Awards in 2006. We did the first one in Miami, in Orlando. 2007, we did it in Miami at the James L. Knight Center. At 2008, Houston. But them shits was huge.
I remember.
And everybody would come and perform from Ludacris to Jeezy to Khaled to Lil Wayne to, the shit was humongous. And we would have thousands and thousands of people there. I remember the last one we did, we had 5,000 plus at the award show.
You know, I had no idea that you had something to do with the whole Ozone Awards, and that's how it came about.
That was me and Julia that created it.
That is so dope. So what are some of the most biggest artists that you would say that came out of that platform?
The question is, who didn't? It's easier to say who didn't come than it is to say who was part of it.
That's how big it was.
Yeah, like, shit was crazy. Yeah. No, this shit was big. But everybody would come there. Ross would always come. He posted, I remember one time he posted, they would drive up from Miami and sleep 8 room to come to TJ's DJs. You know, so many firsts, like at my events, from T-Pain, first time I ever performed I'm Sprung. The first time Gucci Man ever performed So Icy. The first time Shop Boys ever performed Party Like a Rock Star. But it was just
Pretty
so...
Ricky, was it T.I.?
Pretty Ricky, T.I., Yo Gotti. The biggest surprise for me was one time I was up there on the mic, you know, just talking like I always do. And then I saw somebody coming out on the left side of the stage. and it was goddamn, it was Chili from TLC. And that was my favorite motherfucking group. And it's just like, oh my God. But Keith and the rest of the staff, they knew, but they didn't tell me. So I was just in shock just to see her walk up on the stage, right up on me. And I was just like, oh my God.
It was at the moment you felt like, oh, I made it.
I mean, I ain't never feel like I made it. You know, it's like, to be honest, it's these later years when I started realizing the impact that we had. At the time, I had tunnel vision, man. I was deep into it, and
yeah, you know what? To be honest, literally that's how I learned how to network. And I remember everybody used to just be coming there with their CDs and their posters and their promotion, and just meeting so many people that I've seen them come, I've seen them go, but they all had to come. Like you said, it was just this platform everybody had to come to. And I remember specifically, like, that was like during like MySpace era time, stuff like that. So I remember actually my first time hearing about Twitter was at your conference, and you were my first follower on Twitter.
Now that's crazy.
Yes, and I realized, like, you know, then at first I didn't know how to use it. I was like, what is this? And I had no idea that social media back then was going to take over in the way, you know, that it did. So how do you feel about that now, as far as, because when we used to have to come to TJ's DJs, like I said, you had to have your posters and your everything for your groundwork. Is that still, does that work these days still, or everything is social media now to you?
Excuse me. So much of it is social media. So much of it is digital. So it's like the money that people used to spend on all the posters and poster boards and vinyl and CDs or cassettes. You ain't got to do that no more. You know, some people still do it, but that's just an added expense that you don't have to incur. But it's like, everything has changed. I mean, we don't give out CDs anymore, what some people do because they lost in time. But everything is about streaming. You know, everything is about digital. So it's like, instead of spending money on these tangible items, you can just buy ads, you know, on these various platforms and reach more people for less money. And that's where the whole industry has shifted to.
Definitely. So how do you feel now? Is it important? Like back in the day, everybody wanted to be signed. You had to have a label, you know, do you think right now it's, that's pretty much phasing out? Or do you have to still have a major, or you could just be independent?
Well, now with all the technology and all the apps, I mean, you can be an instant rapper in goddamn 12 hours, right from your phone. I mean, you can take your own pictures, you can goddamn download some beats, you can record yourself, you can mix and master on your phone, you can upload to these digital platforms, distribution platforms where you don't need a label like you had to have a label back in the day. And the funny thing to me is, like, this new generation of artists, it's funny to me how so many of them always say, fuck a deal, I never take a record deal, like, and it's like, okay, I hear you, and you don't have to take one. But the fact that you just saying you'll never take one, it's like, where do you get that from? You sound like you're listening to other artists that are disgruntled, so they're telling you, fuck a major, don't do this. But that same artist at one time, when they was popping, they was happy and they loved the goddamn major label. So yes, you can do it independently these days, but in my mind, there's nothing like having a major deal.
Right.
To have millions of dollars budgeted towards your project, to have a staff of 250 plus people working on your music, specializing in different areas, it's like, I hear all these artists say this shit, and it's like, damn, y'all sound stupid as fuck. Dummies? Excuse me. But you don't have to, but at least explore the options. If it's not what you want and it's better over here, then go that route. But don't just close it off and just say because you listening to other people. And then everybody is like, now the big thing is having ownership of your masters. Everybody, I'm gonna keep my masters. I'm gonna own my masters. Okay, let me ask you a question. Pull out your calculators. How much is 100% of nothing? Ask yourself that fucking question, cause that's what it is. Shit, if don't nobody know you, your masters ain't worth shit. And that's the dumbest thing in the world. Now, you get a major label and they go ahead and blow this shit up, then shit, you can sell your masters for tens of millions of dollars. If it gets to the point where you have a worldwide fan base and you sold a lot of units, but you just saying you're gonna keep your masters, that means nothing if they're worth nothing. Just straight up.
True. So what about as far as streaming now? Like
Streaming
and physical sales. Like,
well, the physical sales they're kind of out the window, you know. But the
everything is pretty much going to turn.
Everything is digital. But when it comes to streaming, I hear so many people complaining about we ain't making no money. They raping us on these streams. They're robbing us. But I think it's about having the right mindset. Streams shouldn't be looked at as a way to make a living. Streams should be looked at as a loss leader. Because if you get the streams, then people are aware of you. And so now, because you're streaming and you're not looking at that to goddamn make all your money, you can now do other things, whether it be selling merch, whether it be having fan clubs. You know, so many artists like the new wave is going direct to consumer. You know, but going direct to consumer, if don't nobody know you, then you can't even do that. But the direct to consumer, a lot of people using even.biz for that direct to consumer business. And that shit is real important. It's a matter of just offering subscription services, offering all kind of stuff so you can have different revenue streams off of your streaming with people being aware that you exist.
Cool. So how many streams equals like, do you have to sell like 1 million streams is like how much? As
and
far
I don't
as, like,
know the exact numbers.
But approximately.
And I can't even tell you. I ain't gonna lie. 10.
10?
No.
So you don't really know, but because
I can look that shit up though.
No, because it's like people feel like, oh, they doing something if they got like 100,000 streams, but really when it calculates, I don't even know is that even like $1,000?
Man, nope. I mean, like I want to say it's like 0.008 or something, like 8 tenths of a cent that you make per stream or something like that. So it's not any money. And you have to you have to get a lot of streams to actually make money. That's why it's like I say it's a loss leader, and you should get that in your mind so you can utilize it to make money indirectly.
Because I think sometimes people feel like, oh, if I just get my streams up, then that means this is gonna make me all type of money.
And it's not. Streaming is not the way to get rich.
Hello.
You just better hope you can stream and you get shows and you can tour and all that shit. But streaming is not the way to get rich. Not the way to feed your family, to pay your bills. You might be able to get some gas. But that's about it. And when I say gas, I'm talking about your car. You might get some gas you can smoke. I ain't tripping.
But that's about it. Wow, I'm glad you clarified that, because I really think that people feel, oh, I'm about to just make make a song on my phone. Now I'm famous. I'm gonna get streams, and that's it.
Not at all.
When that's just a small percentage, a small piece of the pie.
I mean, it's almost non-existent.
Okay, so they gotta be making like songs like One Time for the Birthday Bitch to get them kind of streams and then possibly get a little, you know.
I mean, that is a good one. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm a little biased, but.
For sure. So, who are some of the artists now that you're managing?
Well, I managed B.O.B. I found him in
Atlanta.
Him in Atlanta, matter of fact, August 14, 2006. It'll be 19 years next month.
Wow.
Well, it'll be 18 years next. What year? Okay,
They
yeah, it'll
like,
be 18.
Don't worry, he can't.
I'm off a little bit. But yeah, damn. Yeah, 18 years. I thought it was longer than that. But I managed Trap Beckham. I've been managing him 9 years now, one time for the birthday bitch. And I have a new artist named So Candy, who's super dope. Mm-hmm. And then I met with a new artist last night that I want to
interested in?
Manage, yeah.
So what is about an artist that makes you say, okay, they have the it factor, they have that star power? What is it in an artist that you are looking for?
Well, I'm looking for distinctive sound and style. I'm looking at work ethic. In 2024, I'm looking at content. You know, matter of fact, let me address this right here real quick.
Okay.
Let me get up in the camera. Well, don't look at my shorts, but to all my artists who complain about they just want to goddamn rap and they not content creators. In 2024 and beyond, that's your job.
Hello.
You have no choice. If you don't want to damn create content, then get the fuck out the game. You have to create content. If you get a major deal, say Def Jam signs you because you dope as hell. But you come with that, I'm not a content person. I'm not going to take pictures of myself and make videos. Okay, well, you know what? You're going to get dropped. Making content is your job. We all have had jobs in life. And with our jobs come responsibilities that we don't necessarily want to do. But we do them because it's our fucking job. Mm-hmm. Well, if you want to rap, making content is your job. If you want to do anything, to be honest with you, if you want to open a business, you want to rap, you want to sing, you want to dance, you want to goddamn smoke weed.
Make content
is your job.
Key.
There's no way around it.
Okay.
There's no way around it.
So how often you would say that they need to be posting?
I mean, everybody has different opinions on posting. To me, it's about impressions and about people being able to see you. So I feel like you should post multiple times a day, to be honest.
Not just one, multiple times.
Multiple times. That's how people discover you. Like the top way that people are discovering and finding music these days is on social media, whether it be TikTok, whether it be Instagram, whatever it is. This is where they're discovering music. And so if you want them to discover you, you need to make sure you keep posting. That's how social media is a free platform. If you don't utilize that, then you have to pay for everything you do. And we all got limited budgets. So why not use the free platform to make videos? And matter of fact, it's about short form vertical videos even now. So the traditional long form videos, they're kind of they're still effective if you have that audience, but that stuff is not as important as it used to be.
So you mean like stories, reels, TikToks, that's more of the...
But I'm not talking about stories because your story is going to last 24 hours and they get limited.
So
but
reels.
I'm talking Instagram reels, I'm talking TikTok videos, I'm talking Facebook reels, I'm talking YouTube shorts. All these are key and they drive traffic. And then I think it's also how you look at it. I don't think you should look at it as music videos. You should look at it as making content. And if the songs start blowing up from the content, you can go back and shoot a big budget music video if that's what you need, but you don't have to go that route.
Yeah, I saw you post something about that before, about now with the videos, how, people used to be spending all this money, this big budget on making videos, when now you can be making them yourself on your
From
phone.
your phone. And all it takes is a 30, 40-second clip. And
Not just promoting music, but their lifestyle. People want to see how you living, right? When you're saying content.
I mean, people that just post music, at some point that becomes ineffective. It becomes noise. People want to feel like they know you. People want to be part of your life. And so I'm always big on personality. Mm-hmm. Showing your personality so people actually can connect with you. You can be the dopest rapper that ever existed. You can be the best singer that ever was. But if the people don't connect with you, none of that shit matter. Mm-hmm. We to the point where music is becoming secondary. They gotta fuck with you. And if they don't connect with you, it ain't happening.
So when do you feel like it's necessary when an artist actually needs management?
When they got something to manage. I'm so sick of all y'all artists down coming to me about management, and I go look at your page and you get like 1, 2, 3 likes, per post. You don't have shit going on. It's like, why do you feel like you need management? You need management when you have something to manage. You need management when you have stuff going on. It's not on a manager to goddamn create your career. No, somebody like me as a manager, I'll come in to help you, but you already have to be doing stuff. I don't have time to figure out if this is what you really want to do in life. To be honest, rap, music, or this business isn't for everybody. You got to be a special person to be able to handle it, and most people can't. So for me, I like knowing somebody has been through some stuff, knowing that somebody has at least been trying so they can see what it is. And when they do have management, they do have help, that they can finally appreciate it, because it makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now, I feel like there's definitely a disconnect as far as even with artists getting signed. It seems like you just got to go viral now to make it like. But
it's like a double-edged sword, and I think that's part of the problem. Everybody trying to go viral is why music is lasting a goddamn week. I'm exaggerating, but I will say a month.
Yeah.
I'm from the old school, so it's like when it comes to putting out records and music and all that shit, I believe in laying a foundation. And then that's when you lay a foundation on a record. And matter of fact, let me jump here. Like, I always compare it to like a house. Say you building a house, but you trying to put the roof up, but you ain't got no foundation and you ain't got no support. So the roof can't do nothing but fall. And that's the same way your record is after that month. It's in and out. And so you have to lay a foundation, and it may not be an overnight viral thing, but it's some shit that will last. It's funny because you mentioned Trap Beckham, the birthday bitch song. Mm-hmm. I mean, that song came out like 9 years ago.
Wow.
But it hasn't peaked. It just keeps getting bigger every year.
I just saw Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he was in Greece. He posted a couple videos. To his wife posted one. They was at a party. He posted one. He was dancing with his bottle. Mm-hmm. He does that almost every year. Matter of fact, like that's his jam.
That's what's up.
But that's how you build records that last, by laying a foundation underneath. So it's like your birthday bitches. It's like your Bob, Nothing on You's, and Nothing on You came out in 2010. It's 2024. We do a shitload of college shows, and they 18, 19-year-olds, and they know these songs word for word. Mm-hmm. But it's because they're hits and they were properly promoted and
you lay the foundation.
Yes, and so that's important.
So you said most songs now are like lasting a month. How do you get the record, I guess, to say grow legs? Would you agree that artists need to stop being so focused on their own city and go outside and go on the road and have a promo? When does that come in? I
think that comes in at first. To be honest, your own city, is usually the hardest. They know you. You know, you Johnny. They seeing you goddamn when you used to eat your boogers. You know, it ain't no big deal to them. Mm-hmm. And so it's like a lot of times it's so much easier in all these other cities where they don't know you as Johnny that used to eat boogers. Mm-hmm. You know, you goddamn MC Rap Master Supreme.
Right. So when you go outside, they look at you totally different from your own backyard.
I mean, it's a big difference. And the thing about social media is you can tap into everybody all over the world. You know, you don't know where your fan base is going to be. Mm-hmm. But if you don't try, you'll never reach them.
True.
Shit, I just came back, I just came back from Jamaica doing a show over there with Trap. Shit, 2 weeks ago, I just came back from Mexico doing a show with Bob. It's like, I've been to 39 countries doing shows a whole bunch of times. But it's like outside these areas, it's like people appreciate music more, especially when you start talking international. They don't have to know you. Mm-hmm. They just appreciate good music. They're just music lovers. And so the people that just stick on social media and don't go outside, I feel like y'all are missing out. Mm-hmm. I stay outside, and I think you should too.
Yeah, so how would somebody set it up if they wanted to go like overseas or try to get out the country? Like,
well, it's about tapping into people in these places. And that's the beautiful thing about streaming a lot of these different sites is now you can look at analytics. So you can go ahead and look at Spotify and see what areas you're streaming in, and you can try to tap in with people in those areas. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily easy, but it's just something to do.
What's the best way you would say to create a buzz around an artist? What are some things that you would tell them to do?
I mean, number one, we're talking about streaming. So the number one thing with streaming is playlisting. And I'm not talking about getting playlisted by somebody who's in your DMs talking about they'll get you so many streams. That's that bullshit. And most of that shit is botted. And so it's like out of all the campaigns that I've ever done, it's like most of them things ain't shit. The real move is the Spotify editorial playlist. And how do you get that? Most people don't know that you can actually pitch your own music in the Spotify for Artists app. First of all, there's an app. There's one app, Spotify, to listen to the music, but then there's a whole separate app for artists to be able to upload music, to look at all your analytics and all that shit. And then on the app, but it's not the app on your phone. You got to go to Spotify for Artists on the computer, on the desktop. I mean, you can do it from your phone, but don't use the app. You got to go to the website. And you can actually pitch your records for playlisting yourself right there in on the website. But most artists don't even know that exists. And it's like, out of all the big songs that I ever had, they've all been playlisted. If I don't get playlisted on a song, then more than likely it's not about to do much. Mm. And so that playlisting thing is a big deal. Use Spotify for Artists, but you have to go to the website and you have to have your music in a couple weeks ahead of time for it to even show up that you can submit it for playlisting.
Cool. All right. So what would you say, you've been in the industry for years, what would you say is one of your favorite moments ever in your career? The Grammys?
No, because that shit was long as hell. And you know something? I mean, it was beautiful. We was nominated for 6.
I thought it was amazing.
We were nominated for 6 Grammys. And when you get nominated for Grammys and you get to walk the red carpet and all that shit, it's like all these media outlets around the world are there. So even if you don't win, being nominated is like a win. Because you get all the notoriety, you get all the media. And I mean, that was pretty cool because I'm walking down the red carpet and then I'm getting all kind of phone calls from niggas talking about they see me on Entertainment Tonight or something, and on the news, and so it was really cool. But I tell you, I'm a weed head. So my favorite damn time is goddamn smoking weed at Obama crib.
Ooh.
I've done 3 events for Obama. I have B.O.B. did one at the White House. And then B.O.B. did another one at House of Blues in Hollywood for Obama. But those were cool. And
How did that happen?
I mean, shit, they called. And so me and Obama taking pictures with Obama, seeing him pimp on in real quick. That shit was dope. But the time was Obama's 60th birthday. They had Trap Beckham, because Obama liked birthday bitch. And so they had Trap Beckham come to his house, his crib in Martha's Vineyard. And I'm talking about, I'd never been to no shit like that in my life. That party had to be multi-million-dollar party. I'm talking about Oprah, Steven Spielberg. I'm talking about Beyonce was sitting right there next to me, and I just wanted to touch her and shit. Jay-Z, I mean, Dwayne Wade. I mean, just everybody, but it was super, super VIP. And shit, I just had a good time. You know, they gave me some weed. And so we had to sit in a goddamn tent for 5 hours until we performed, because they didn't want Obama. It was a surprise for Obama, so they didn't want us walking around. So shit, we had to entertain ourselves. So I'm goddamn smoking weed, drinking, everything, talking shit on my story like I always do. What I didn't realize is they collected phones from everybody as soon as they walked in that bitch. So nobody had a phone. So me and Trav just having a good time. And my shit went viral. All of a sudden I'm looking at 5,000 plus views on my stories. And I'm just like, well shit, why they care about me? You know, I'm trying to entertain my followers, but I didn't know that all the media in the world couldn't get no access to the party. So the only shit they had was my shit.
That's dope.
And they made me look bad as fuck. I look bad as hell. I'm seeing myself on the goddamn news with the goddamn blood in my mouth and shit. I ain't even take a picture like that. I recorded a video, but they goddamn screenshot the video, and I'm on CNN next to a picture with Oprah and Steven Spielberg with a goddamn blood in my mouth, looking ignorant as fuck, like I ain't never done shit in my life. That shit was some bullshit.
But it was lit.
But I mean, I ain't never experienced no shit like that in my life. Goddamn Trap. I was looking for Trap. I couldn't find Trap. So I called him. He was like, hey, I'm off from the tent on the side. So I walk over there, Trap back there smoking weed with Obama's daughters. Like we was bad at the party. I'm walking around smoking my blunt around everybody. But then they put a gag order on me, and I couldn't talk about it. As a matter of fact, when I left the next morning, we had to fly from Martha's Vineyard to Boston to connect to fly back to Atlanta. So I'm walking through the airport, and this white man walked up to me. He's like, man, yeah, you enjoyed the party last night?
Wow.
I'm like, oh, yeah. Was you there? He was like, no. So I was like, how you know I was at the party? He was like, I seen you on the front page of the New York Post. I'm like, oh my God.
But lit.
I had a good time though.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Will Packer called me. And he called me to scold me, talking about you shouldn't be posting that stuff with he didn't even call him Obama. He called him whatever number president that was. So he was like, man, we was at the White House drinking Hennessy with Obama. We ain't posting nothing. You know, you shouldn't be posting that. That's disrespectful. You know you wasn't supposed to post nothing. But if I didn't post, nobody would even know Trap was there. And so I didn't post. I posted myself having fun. But Erykah Badu posted the Trap performance with Obama dancing and Michelle dancing on stage, and her, H-E-R, whatever her name is, dancing on stage. So it was cool. So we really got some coverage from it. But I caught hell. I was, for all the smokers, I was the coolest person in the world. For all the Obama lovers, they hated me. I made Obama look bad. They said I messed him up for future endeavors. The white people, oh, they love me because I made Obama look bad too. But, you know, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking about this now.
Hey, you are.
I had to delete all my shit. They made me delete all the shit off my story, but it was too late.
It was too late. They did the blogs, the people that picked it up.
Listen, I'm talking about, there was 20 plus pages on Google of me and Obama. At Obama party, goddamn smoking weed, looking ignorant as fuck.
But one of your best moments.
Oh, I loved it. I ain't never experienced no shit like that in my life. Shit.
It's lit, for sure. So what are some of the projects that you're working on right now?
Well, I dropped a new single and video for for B.O.B. today, called Bamboo. He has a new album called Space Time coming out August 16th. Dropped a new single from my artist Candid, So Candid last week, a remix. But I have a new single for her called The Mayor, and then I also have a new single for Trap Beckham called Mo Fire. Mm-hmm. Both of those dropping the 26th. And then, like I said, I'm trying to manage this girl that I think is super dope.
She's from here?
Yeah, she live in Palm Bay.
Okay.
I met her in Lauderdale. Finally, actually met her for the first time in person in Lauderdale last night. Her name is Nim Shell. Check her out. She's super dope, man. I think she's a star.
Okay. I think I heard that before. She's a singer?
Mm-hmm. Like, dope as fuck. And her pen game and her lyrics and subject matter, like, edgy as fuck. Mm-hmm. And I'm a fan.
You just see that.
I'm a fan.
It factor.
I mean, yeah, like all day. I mean, you can make songs and you can be real direct about it, but I don't feel like that's the move. Like with T-Pain, his strength was his writing, and so he'd make songs about shit that everybody else been making songs about forever, but he'd attack it from a different angle, and that shit would blow up. And so much of this shit is all in your pen game. Be a little edgy, be a little witty, think a little bit. Don't just say what it is every time.
Saying, right.
No, come from a different angle.
Okay, cool. And any advice that you would have for somebody that wants to be an artist or even thinking about managing artists?
Well, first piece of advice for somebody that wants to be an artist, shit, I'd quit right now, goddamn. This shit is hard, man. Y'all see all this shit going on and think it's easy? Man, this shit is hard. It requires a lot of work, and it requires a lot of years or hours to before you actually become successful. Mm-hmm. People that want to be a manager, you know, you don't have to have experience, but you have to be a sponge about this music business. And so my advice to you is go out and network. You know, that's key. Your art is only limited to what you can do. Read these books, learn the music business, and stay outside. I mean, you got to meet people. These relationships, it's like, and one of my biggest issues with artists today, they don't care about relationships. Everything is transactional. Ooh. And so they just want to pay and get what they want and don't give a fuck about you, the person. Mm-hmm. But the relationship thing, man, can take you a lot further than money can. Yeah. But I feel like they don't get that, though. And that's not a concern.
That's something that's major, though, so important that I think people don't understand. And that, building relationships, networking, that's something that I definitely learned from coming up in that era through TJ's DJs and going to core DJ events, and you know, but they don't have that anymore. So any chance you might bring that back?
They do have core DJs.
I mean, they don't have all these conferences, I'm saying, and
yeah,
stuff
they don't
like
have
we
the
had.
conferences like we had. But there's still some, but they're not good. You know, it's not
impactful. It's
not impactful. The biggest issue that I have, most of these things today are money grabs. Is how people make money. So you as an artist investing and trying to go attend and be part of it, you get no value out of it. You just spend your money, you don't get nothing, and then it's like, okay, well, fuck it. Why even go to this shit? And I feel like that's the shit that's killing. Because so many, like back in the day, it would be stuff that would help. People would add value to what you was doing. If you spent money, you'd get more.
Certain looks.
Yeah, but today, it's just a money grab, man. So much of it's just a money grab, so.
Would you bring back TJs, EJs in the
Hell
future?
no.
Well, that settles that. Thanks for just killing people's hopes and dreams, because I've heard a lot of people, or saw a lot of people ask you, would you bring it back?
Every day, like to today still, but it's like.
You don't think it'll be the same impact?
I mean, I feel like the industry is different now. I feel like the younger generation, because of social media, they don't feel like they need anybody.
Facts.
And then I don't feel like it could ever be what it was. So I would rather not do it. And the last Ozone Awards I did, the shit was too fucking big. I know that sounds crazy. The shit was too big. I'm talking about, I had in the host hotel, I had a room block of 650 rooms per night. I had 3 hotels, but the main hotel had 650 rooms per night in the room block. That shit is ridiculous. And that shit was too big. And I went through so much hell from that shit. I had so many lawsuits. It's like, to the world, it's like, damn, I want to be you. But to me, no, you don't. You don't want to be me. I'm talking about, I had a lawsuit. Ross, your people. Ross, that's when Ross slapped DJ Vlad in the hotel lobby at the conference. And so Vlad came with a lawsuit. I had a whole nother lawsuit because Boosie, him and his entourage kicked some people to sleep in the bathroom at the award show after party. I had a whole nother issue with the Civic Center and shit. That's where Trey the Truth slapped Mike Jones, slapped the fuck out of Mike Jones. It was at Ozone Awards.
Well.
Like I'm talking about one of the parties we had, I'm talking about that bitch was sold out. People was mad because they couldn't get in. But then the end of the night, the goddamn money bag was missing. So I ain't make no money on that party. The people couldn't get in. Then we had another party. Damn, that bitch was sold out. We were selling weekend passes, but the people weekend passes couldn't get in because somebody bootlegged the goddamn bands. So we had a whole bunch of people that was in there that shouldn't even have been in there. So then I had all kind of people mad at me from that shit. The award show. Now this is the craziest thing. On the morning of the award show, they called me and said, we didn't pay for electricity. Now we paid for everything. We paid for every bill that we were given. But they said we didn't pay for electricity. So I had to come back and goddamn pay for electricity. Had to pay the fire marshal off so he ain't shut the shit down.
No wonder you don't want to do it no more.
It was so much hell.
But people don't see that part. They
No,
just see
they don't see
the
it.
glitz and everything.
They
that
see
looks
all
good.
the artists that was there, and all the big amount of people, and the shit was massive. But and so and then at the end of the awards, our sponsor for the event was Jay Prince. Black Mafia rap a lot, Jay Prince. And because of all the shit that happened, we were short like $60,000. And so on some real shit, I had to pay Jay Prince his money back. And so I set up automatic payments and paid him the first of every month for 6 years to pay him his money back. And when I felt like I was paid up, I stopped. I don't know if I was paid up. Okay.
Don't say that because I don't want them to come.
But no. So look, core DJs. I had to speak on the panel at the core DJs. So I was on the couch, a whole bunch of people in the room and shit. And then Tony Neal grabbed the mic and he was like, hey, okay, we're gonna get started in a minute. We just waiting on Jay Prince to pull up. I'm like, oh my motherfucking God. I just stopped paying the man and we never talked and I don't know if we straight. And so he pulled up, he walked in with these big ass security guards. They was pushing niggas out the way. They was trying to push me out the way. But then they told him, no, TJ good. But I was on the side, ducked off. 'Cause I didn't want him to see me. The next thing I know, he looked over. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Oh, hey, man. Hey, I'm doing good. Hey, thanks a lot, too, for sponsoring the goddamn conference. But he was cool.
So you knew he was all right.
So I think I'm good. Yeah, I was good. I ain't get
thank God for that.
mollywop.
Yes. Well, the last thing I want to ask you, you said when you first started, you had a food truck.
Uh-huh.
So when is that?
I mean, it's open right now. I don't know where he is. He be in different spots. I'm trying to find a permanent location. If any of y'all know a permanent location, please tap in with me. Mm-hmm. But he's in a different spot every day of the week, depending on the times of day. You know, he might switch spots in the day, but he has a little routine where he goes, and so I don't really.
And what's the name of it again?
Plant Menage. It's a vegan food truck. It's all vegan, but we do infuse foods. So, you know, if you like that ganja, you know, we do infused foods too. You don't have to get it infused, but you can if you want it.
Absolutely amazing. I can't wait to try it.
And it's almost, I mean, it's really, really good. I don't give a fuck about vegan food, to be honest with you. But he's so good that I invested $100,000 in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause he got a gift. And so, and I'm a foodie, so I know good food. And so I'm investing in my man's gift.
That's what's up. And my last question to you is, what keeps you going after all this time? What makes you still happy to wake up every day and be a part of this music industry? Because you've been through a lot of stuff, the good, the bad, the ugly. What actually keeps you going?
I mean, I like changing people's lives. I mean, to be honest, I ain't got to do this shit. I'm pretty good.
Right.
I'm pretty straight, you know. So I ain't got to do none of this shit no more. But I do it because I love it, and I like helping people achieve their dreams, and I like helping people become millionaires and all that stuff. And so it makes me feel good to do that. And to be honest, it had got to the point where I was kind of getting bored with the business, and I was trying to figure out an exit plan. But then I went to South by Southwest 2023, and that's when I saw my new artist, Candid. And she goddamn re-inspired me, made me hungry. And so, like, I'm hungry now, again. I want another run of this shit.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Can you tell the people where they can follow you at?
Yeah, you can follow me on the beach. No, I'm just joking. TJ's DJs is all my social media, all my handles. TJS, DJS. You can tap in with me. I post a lot of dope content for artists. It'd be really good for you to follow me and just stay tuned to all the stuff I'm posting, because it's stuff you can learn from and it can help your career tremendously.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And make sure you follow me at Empress Raw. Shout out to Sheba Billionaire,
Woo, woo.
H2 Creative Concepts, All Like Minds Media Group. And thank you. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for checking in with Wilameana's World. Yeah.
Woo woo. Okay, mine gone, but I'm gonna fill it up.